Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here. I am coming home from downtown today. A little bit of stop and go traffic. This kind of sucks. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon, so I think everybody's trying to get home. We even got out a little bit early today. But on my lunch today, I was able to go a few blocks over, and it is where the Memorial Auditorium was, and all of the AEW trucks were there setting up for tomorrow night's Dynamite. I was able to go over there on my lunch, cruise around the block, check it out. I'll honestly tell you that there was no wrestlers out there other than the wrestlers that were on the side of the production trucks. Surprised to see a lot of some people on there who didn't work for the company anymore. But then again, they can't be like rewrapping those trucks every time somebody like Ricky Starks leaves the company. So it is what it is. But it got me a little bit excited for AEW tomorrow. I have to go into court. I get out at the worst case scenario. I get out at 4:30. But today we got released at 4. The ticket says that the show starts at 4:30. I don't know if that's because it goes live with like the pre-shows or something, or the show itself goes live at 5 because it's on TBS, right? That sort of shows you where I am with AEW. I didn't even watch their last pay-per-view. Hand up, I forgot about it. I felt like I was really into it around Wrestle Dream. I believe that was in like December, when I thought Shane McMahon was going to show up and maybe, hang out with Moxley and Claudio, that group. And I don't know where I lost it. And I said, hey, you paid like $300 to go to the show. You better be in on it when it comes around. And I know nothing. I'm going into it dark. I honestly feel like I did the same thing 2 years ago when they were at Golden One. But it'll be a fun night of wrestling, even if I go in and treat it like an indie that I got no clue what's going down. But I'm just really into WWE. I mean, never, when my mom is coming to visit, I've tried to sneak in watching wrestling when she was there in the house. Kind of respect the fact that she doesn't enjoy wrestling. I don't even think she really likes the fact that I like wrestling. I still remember when I moved to her house and she came in on me to make sure I was doing my homework. And she looked at me and she goes, you still watch this? When I believe either an episode of Nitro or Raw was on at the time. But hey, it is what it is. I love wrestling. And Netflix, I think, has refilled my love for wrestling, being able to watch the number one show live each and every night. I've had the Raw app. I've had, not the Raw app, the USA app, which at one point had Raw and SmackDown live. But it felt like too much work for me to each and every week go in, make sure that I, still subscribe to YouTube TV. They had to verify that I was paying for cable to be able to make me watch it. And that 5-minute ordeal just made it to the point where it's like, I'll just watch it on Twitter. But big show next Monday. I mean, the big thing with everybody watching Monday Night Raw right now is we want answers. And that's one of my favorite things that WWE is not doing right now. They're not giving us answers. Rock wasn't on Raw. We didn't have John Cena on Raw. CM Punk didn't even ask Seth Rollins why he did what he did, to sort of connect the dots that Cena wouldn't even have been in that position if Rollins didn't take Punk out. Cena wouldn't have been able to turn on Cody if Punk won the match. And so whether that's part of the story, whether that's what they're going to reveal, and we're going to get almost like a rerun of last year's WrestleMania with return, but only when Rollins comes out to make the save for Cody, he's not going to make the save. He's going to be the final member of the Final Bosses Club. Where we go from there, I'm not sure. I mean, how do you stop Rock, Rollins, and Cena after Mania, other than Rock and Cena aren't around all the time, leaving Rollins by himself? I mean, when Rollins was running ruckshot over Monday Night Raw, when, basically the Money in the Bank briefcase was the WWE Championship because Brock Lesnar wasn't around. Triple H was there to help him out with Corporate Kane. He had, the two agents, the two guys. Jamie Noble, and I walked down the street and I didn't read the sign before I got there. I apologize. I can't remember the other guy's name. No disrespect to him. But, wasn't it Mercury? I think so. Man, that sucks. I'm talking about something I don't even know what I'm talking about. But, when he did that, they surrounded it. So is Rock gonna build a corporation for Rollins before leaving him just by himself? Or the first time Rollins comes walking out, is the whole Raw roster just gonna kick his ass because he doesn't have any backup? That's the one thing that I'm scared of. But Punk came out there. He wanted answers. He was yelling at two bald son of guns. Rock, as well as Cena. And Seth Rollins came out. I think he just wanted to make a point. He barely even got his sunglasses off before Punk was in his face and the fight was on. So there was no quite a chance for doing that. And they ran into each other in the back and started a brawl again. So they figured the only way to figure this out is for them to fight. It's going to be awesome. CM Punk wrestling on television for free is something I didn't think that we were going to get when he made his return to WWE. But as you can see, I think he really does love this stuff. And, we've been doing this for a while. I think Punk really is here to stay in WWE. He's not, looking to burn any bridges. He kind of just goes along with the flow. I think that WWE has a pecking order of, who kind of talks to him, who kind of guides him, what they know when to, not give him a script and just tell him, the bullet points and just let him go. And it's working. It's working right now. But I think with Punk, it's always a little bit of a ticking time bomb when it's going to get, set off. It is what it is. But he's saying the right things as of right now. Monday Night Raw is going to be in Madison Square Garden. That's probably one of the biggest places that Raw could be. It's a throwback to not really like the old editions, but New York is always going to be the home of WWE, and Madison Square Garden is always going to be the mecca of professional wrestling. Over in Brooklyn, where the Nets play, they kind of, Barclays Center stole WWE for a time. They had the SummerSlams there and the NXT takeovers. I don't know. I guess with the money that they're, rolling into the company for tickets, I think that they can afford to run the Garden. I think they like being able to say they are in the heart of New York City. Having a show like that, I am hoping that Cena and Rock, if not just Rock, is going to be there. I think both of them know how big of a show this is, and they're not going to show up on the WWE Takeover show. They got to come out sometime, and I'm being able to be bad boys in New York City. Pretty much the only crowd that is going to accept them and react to them better than New York City, quite possibly, would be Philadelphia. A real heavy wrestling loving crowd out there. But I think Madison Square Garden will know to poo these guys, not accept them as Cena finally turned heel, he's the cool guy. I don't think WWE is looking for them to be the NWO. I don't think they want a loved portion of the crowd. I think it'll be cool to love John Cena for once, so I think that people will gravitate towards him, especially with him being with The Rock, who people just love to love anyways, even when he's, yelling insults about them having syphilis or herpes or stuff like that. To be the one that raises their hand. It's funny, she's at home right now. I'm heading home to her, but The Rock once insulted my mother on Twitter for having a third nipple because I said something to him about the Cena shouldn't be teaming up with The Rock at Survivor Series 2011 because of their feud building towards WrestleMania. I don't really remember it. I just remember the shock of opening it up and seeing that tweet of like, oh shit, The Rock tweeted me. I don't even care what he says. But steel cage match. The only thing that can make this better would be like the old school blue cage. Triple H as well as WWE, they kind of listen to the fans when they talk about the nostalgia stuff that reminds them of being a kid. I think they're just gonna go with a cage that comes down from the ceiling, just because they can set it up early. All they have to do is press a button and it comes down, and they connect it to the ring, and they're good to go. Blue cage, they gotta draw it out of the back. If you remember when they would do it for like pay-per-views and things like that, they would always have to take sort of like an intermission, or they had a long break of interviewing other wrestlers in the back, which they don't really do anymore. And I think that would kill the build of a television show if they just went interview heavy. Maybe if you did something like on a set like the Brother Love show, where you directed their attention somewhere else, and the crew could come running out there and set it all up. But I don't know, I'm dreaming. But someday we'll see that big blue cage somewhere other than WWE World or something like that. I mean, everybody popped for it at WrestleMania 36 when we saw it for the Cena and Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, Funhouse, Playhouse match, whatever that thing was called, when they threw back to Cena and Bray Wyatt tag teaming on Saturday night's main event. But these guys are going to beat the hell out of each other. I really don't see, if one wins or the other one wins, how it gives them a leg up. Definitely these guys are on a straight path for WrestleMania. I know I really, really was hungry and I wanted to see Rollins versus Reigns. I think they're, even the McIntyre versus Priest match is a throwback to WrestleMania 40, showing you how good of a WrestleMania that was last year, that they're building the matches a year down the road. But Punk's got to go somewhere, and I really think that we're going to see the return of Roman Reigns. It's probably going to be the biggest place for him to make his return. He was taken out by Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble. It was even mentioned on Raw when they were fighting in the back that Seth said he would do the same thing to Punk that he did to Reigns, kind of bringing up his name to make people like, hey, that's right, that did happen. But this is going to be a big match. This is going to be a damn big match. And I'll tell you, for one, I'm excited for it. Anything on the road to WrestleMania. Let's just keep building. I think this is going to be a damn good Mania. I don't think that the Rock and Cena thing saved it. Because I'll tell you the truth, people saying that this is like the biggest turn of all time, I'm not ready to jump on that bandwagon, because we don't really know Cena's reasons for what's going down. His first promo back is really going to tell you how big that was at the Elimination Chamber. If Cena just comes back and doesn't give us a good reason of why he's turning his back on all the Cena maniacs around the crowd. See, that's not it. I just thought I was making up a term, but it's C-Nation. Right there, that's what it is. So Monday Night Raw, let's get it. It's gonna be a damn good show. Peace out, everybody.